What's up, y'all? It's your boy. This just goes to the intro.
YusAvonté Productions, built on vision and truth. Turn your story to sound. Yeah, we bring it to life in the booth.
Alright, what up, y'all? It's your boy Darnell Parker. Here once again with YusAvonté Productions, LLC, and today we got pulling out the arrangements from years ago. So I wrote this in 2021 when Jazmine Sullivan. This song was like, I think it was 21 or 22. But this song was like really popular. It was hitting, it was slapping, and I had wrote my own arrangement of it. So I wrote it in 6/8. Everybody was like, you shouldn't have wrote it in 6/8. You should have wrote it in 4/4. It's a 4/4 song. But when I was listening to it, when I picked it up, my ear caught 6/8. It was easy, in my opinion, it was easier for me to write it in 6/8. And I just thought that everybody knew how to, read 6/8 by the time you got to college, but that just might not have been the case. And the reason why is it's just natural for most musicians universally to count to 4. So if you're doing an arrangement, if you can put it in 4/4, to put it in 4/4. But for me, I didn't hear it in 4/4, and this is just how I wrote it. So this is my take on it. I just want to kind of check some things real quick, some minute things. Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and set it up. So this is what it sounds like. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to do one thing first. Now I remember. So gotta turn those saxophones down. Alright, so now let's start over. There we go. There we go. Measure 9. Woo. We'll break this down in a second. It's gonna be a little longer of a video. There's a lot of issues there I see. Okay, so there's a lot of parts. So we're gonna start from the beginning, and I want to look at that beginning first the six counts. Ooh, can we do? Wow. Now it might sound, because of the computer, it might sound not the greatest, but I'm telling you, like, if you put this in front of a band, and that brass chord, oh, that sounds jazzy. Okay, and then you add that third layer, which is the trumpets. They come in second. So everybody comes in first, with the exception of the trumpets, high brass, and the high woodwinds. And that presence, you need that presence. That's the tonic right there. D. Because I wrote this. This is D minor. And you see, ooh, that melody just lays right on top of those chords and just ascends. Reality is that 3 and 4, that's a for the trumpet. So let's go ahead and zoom in. So here, that da 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 da, that's a G. Is this in concert? This is in concert. Let's go to transcribe. Okay. So transcribed, that for the that's gonna be an A. That's gonna be an A for my trumpets. So naturally, what I put there and why I did that, you go G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, A. Some of y'all can go to B. A, B, that's why it's a clashing chords there. B, C, B, that's a C, C, B. C, B, feelings. Feelings. It's really, if I had time, I would have put the legato on top of that. But I didn't do that. Feelings. And then I pretty much thought about like okay, I go to Langston University, so I wasn't thinking about Langston when I wrote this. I did, but I also thought about Southern, because they typically do a lot of the runs, a lot of transitional runs to go into the next phase of the song. So I just did eighth notes. I'm slowing it down because on the recording you don't hear that all the way through. So I'm really emphasizing on that moving part so that y'all know, like, this is what was happening. Now I could have done a better job of. So we get the. I can tell you right now, that's an A. That's a G. So that higher note here, it's nice, but if I was honest, I would get that. I would get rid of that. I would get rid of this because it's not needed. Now listen. You hear the difference? Woo. I would take away that top note from, even though I wanted to make a chord, because I want to focus on more of the melody for the trumpets, I would take that top note out. So now I'm dealing with a little clash, a little. So this is fine. Whoo. So I would actually, what I would do for this, I would take this. Yeah, that's what I would do. So I would take that, pretty much what we did here. And we want to make sure that we're emphasizing on. So now what I would do is I would take this. And I would do that same thing here. So now when you undo it, and we go here, you can even, if you wanted to, keep this, do the same, pretty much do this. Like, what would that do? I feel like that could also, so just sustaining this note, even though it's boring, I learned in school that sometimes when you write, it's better to write boring, because at least you keep the chords. You want to keep the structure of the song. You want to follow the melody. So just not everything moving and letting that carry over just did a whole lot more justice. It takes away a lot of the clash from the low brass. So now we play this all the way through now. So now, like, I decided to make it like a chugga chugga choo choo train once I got here, because in the recording it's a lot of drums. It's a pocket song. So for this, I tried to make a pocket with the trumpets. So that's why you see what you see. I want to focus. I want to go back real quick because I want to focus on measure 9, and then I want to go ahead and I want to start to mute some of these parts. So I want to hear. I don't want to hear the baritones, and I don't want to hear the tubas. So I just want to listen to the background. So this is what we have. Now I want to take out. Now I want to take out the piccolo, the clarinet. I just want to hear trombones, trombones and the horns. So I want to go back here. I want to go to measure 9. I'll do the leading, and then here we go. So like that. In my head, that moving part was amazing a couple years ago. But if my focus was create a solid counter melody that layers, that da, 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 does not work anymore. So what I would do, I would just go up the scale. So now if I go back to measure 8, this is what it would sound like. And boom. 2, 3, 4. So now when you add that other part back in there, so now I want to take out, so I want to unmute. We'll keep it like that. Now, boom. Because now that ascending transition helps it helped me focus more on knowing that we're staying in the air versus if I descend it down. Like I used to think that something doesn't matter, but it does. So because we're trying to stay in the air, we're going somewhere. I don't want to do anything descending, because to the ear I'm thinking, okay, we're about to go somewhere completely different. Whereas this 4 count is important. Da 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 da. So now I just want you to hear the difference once we add the melody back up in here. Now, no bass, but this is what the melody would sound like. So no bass. Here we go. Alright, this is what we got. So no bass, And here we are. Let's go back to right. You hear how that sounds so much clearer. And it's still a transition, and it's still but we're staying in the key. We're not staying outside the key. There's nothing that sticks out. That's okay. Now I want to go ahead and add that last part. Let's add that bass. Now some people are like, oh, you took away the sauce. I would have to come back and really study what I can do and what accidental I could put in there so that it doesn't stick out terribly. But yeah, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. So now we're just dealing with whatever this is. I don't know why this is here. I don't know how it got here. I don't know how this got here. No, I don't know how that got there. So I don't want that. I don't want the gliss. That takes away so much from the essence of the song. This is supposed to be. You got the house, the rooftops on for a reason. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's the reason why it's there. So when you actually go back and listen to this now, or if somebody were to play this, this is what it's supposed to sound like. Here we go. It's cleaner. Don't forget to come and pick up your little feelings. So that right there did exactly what it was supposed to do. The only reason why this doesn't sound great is, once again, it's a computer just reciting the notes. But da 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 triple it triple it one 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 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a triple it 1 1 and a 2 and a 3 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 triple it 1 ba ba. It'll work. And then at that point, this was just a crash and burn. But phew, I will have to do a lot more work on this bad boy. But I haven't revisited this, and now I'm probably going to be able to revisit this a little bit more because of the fact that now that Dorical Pro is taking over, and Finale is no longer, it's being more and more unusable. We might be able to revisit some of these old arrangements. We might also have to make a different arrangement and create a new book for different levels of bands that we would have to teach, whether it's elementary school, whether it's middle school, whether it's high school or collegiate, or professional. So depending on it's called, in music is like a grade. So it's like, I think it's 1, 2, or 3. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 music. We have to determine what type of grade of music that we want to write, figure out what the standards are for that, and make it one reader friendly, simple to follow, and simple to conduct if we have to pass this out to a different instructor. So that's what we're going to be focusing on a little bit more in a couple of more of these episodes. This first season, though, we're really just revisiting a lot of the older arrangements that I do have prior to starting to create more new stuff. But Stay tuned for more. But this is all that we have for today. So it's your boy Darnell Parker. YusAvonté Productions, and we're out of here. Peace.
From the heart to the speakers, we craft every moment. Sound with the purpose, legacy focused. YusAvonté Productions, built on vision and truth. Turn your story to sound. Yeah, we bring it to life in the booth.